gathered here. This is Harivashni and Valiyamai at the MOC desk welcoming you all for the colloquium session on the topic of Awareness Program on POSH Act 2013 and Drug Abuse Prevention. Now I'd like to invite Ms. Nisha Loshi to deliver the welcome address. Good morning to everyone. It gives me a great honor and contentment to welcome you all for today's colloquium session. With a great respect, I warmly welcome our Chief Guest, Dr. K. Mangayakarasi Ma'am, Associate Professor and Impaneled Resource Person by MWCD, New Delhi, to conduct awareness on POSH 2013 Department of Women's Studies in Bharatiya University. Welcome you, ma'am. Ms. K. Narmada Ma'am, Research Scholar and ICSSR Doctoral Fellow Empaneled Resource Person by MWCD, New Delhi, to conduct awareness on POSH Act 2013, Department of Women's Studies, Bharatiya University. Welcome you, ma'am. Your valuable presence today adds significance to this session and gives us excitement to know about the awareness on POSH Act 2013 and prevention of drug abuse to this generation today. So I welcome both of you, ma'am. It's a great pleasure to warmly welcome our respected Professor Dr. K. Malarmati ma'am, Director in charge of BSMED and organizer of today's program. Ma'am, your guest today invites us towards excellence. So I welcome you, ma'am. And I would like to welcome our organizer of this program, Professor Dr. Jenita Roslin, ma'am, Head of the Department of Women's Studies in Bharatiya University. Welcome you, ma'am. A great welcome to our respectful welcome to our colloquium coordinator, our faculty, Dr. G. Bharani, ma'am, Associate Professor of BSMED. Welcome you, ma'am. Along with our BSMED guest faculty, Dr. Sudhakaran sir, who have joined this colloquium session. Welcome you, sir. And a big shout out to all our enthusiastic students for let us dive into this session to learn, share and grow again. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to all. Thank you. Thank you, Nisha Roshni. Dr. K. Malarmati ma'am, Professor and Director in charge at the Bharatiya School of Management and Entrepreneur Development. She brings over 2 decades of teaching and research experience with academic expertise in marketing management, agribusiness management, and entrepreneur development. Her scholarly contributions include more than 100 international journal articles, 68 national papers, 18 book chapters, and 52 conference presentations, alongside the successful guidance of 20 doctoral scholars. Dr. Malarmati's ma'am research interest encompasses consumer behavior, sustainability, e-waste management, and customer loyalty. And her work has been presented internationally in Thailand, Oman, Sri Lanka, and Botswana. In addition to her research and teaching, she has held significant academic leadership roles such as Dean of Research, Chairman of Board of Studies Research, and course coordinator for postgraduate diploma programs. Her career reflects a sustained commitment to advancing management education, fostering impactful research. Now, I'd like to welcome Professor Dr. K. Malarmati ma'am, Director in charge of BSMED, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you all. POSH Act. Very good morning to all. I was just trying to understand what it is. Prevention of sexual harassment of women at workplace. Just now Madam told me it is not only workplace, but it is domestic place also. It also covers They should raise their voice. They should be given a space. So when all these were imparted in the minds of the women, and when the women started coming out, then strongly came this act. Because when they started coming out, then there was some disturbance in the society because already the society was dominated by male, and when women also came at almost at equal par with them, there was a huge disturbance, and there was at some point of time there was unacceptance, and then the government introduced POSH Act 2013, Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace as well as in the domestic places. Fine. But then, yes, this act is introduced and now we are organizing this. Government has made it mandatory that this should be organized in every schools and colleges, and an awareness should be created among the students who are going to become a future society builders. Because these students are the ones who are going to build the society, who are going to build the nation in future. So this awareness should be brought in among all. What a great question comes in my own. In fact, in the morning I was thinking, boys listen about it. This in their mind. When this about women, why should we be made to sit here and listen to all these awareness and the regulation, the act, the when, what, how, about all this. See, one thing we should keep in our mind. Awareness brings unintentional mistakes. This is very important to understand. Okay. We all grow up in a society, we all grow up in a family, we all have brothers, sisters, everybody is male, female comprises a family. When we come out of it and when we start working or start building up our career in a particular place, mistakes are inevitable. Okay. Unintentionally some words will come out of our mouth. Unintentionally some act will be displayed in that particular place. So in order to avoid that, this awareness is created to both the boys and girls. Okay. And a sense of respect. When girls are also working, the same work that the boys have been working and now they are working, if this type of awareness is brought in front of them, that creates a sense of respect, which is very, very important. Each gender should be respected, whether it is a boy or a girl, irrespective of that. Everybody owes a sense of respect, and that particular respect should be given to that particular person, be it a boy or a girl, irrespective of that. Okay, that is the number second. Then educating the boys and the girls helps them to understand their boundaries, their limitations, which is very, very important. See, we all are, this is co-education. Touching someone, that girl or that boy may not feel bad, okay? But there will be someone who will feel bad about it. You understand this? Casually bad about it. But then there will be 1% of the person who will definitely feel bad about it. And then that will become a news. You get my point? So when we create such type of awareness, that will definitely help them to understand what is their boundary, what is their limitation, and what is the safer place to work. This is number 2. Number 3 is creating a safer and more respectful environment, which is very, very important to understand. Respectful environment means we are creating a platform where each person is equally respected. And that is the reason why we are organizing, a pain is being taken to organize such type of programs. Madam was telling me yesterday she was in Pollachi to organize this program, to create an awareness among the college students in Pollachi. So this is an ongoing program, and this is the second program which they are conducting at BSME. Fine. See, one thing we should all understand is, POSH Act is not only about women, but it is about culture. This is very important for all of us to understand. Now, this in turn helps us to encourage equality and responsibility. Again, a very important point to understand. And the last thing, which but not the least, is a safe environment is everyone's responsibility. So we had this philosophy case, and we were discussing about it before coming here. Okay. night at 11 o'clock, somebody is sitting in some place, okay, whether the place was safe, whether the act was unsafe, who is to be held responsible for this? You get it, my dear students? So, a safe environment is everyone's responsibility. Whether the girl was lewd to that extent that she went after the boy, or whether the boy was responsible for them, or the third person who came there and who attacked those people, they are responsible for this. But at the end of the day, creating a safer environment is everybody's responsibility. We should understand this. So a safe environment is everyone's responsibility, and educating a crowd, be it a boy or a girl, that grows into a respectful colleagues, leaders and citizens. So with this, I would like to hand over the session to the MOCs. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. M. Dhanabhagya ma'am, is a distinguished academician and an accomplished leader currently serving as the professor and head of the Department of Commerce at Bharatiya University. With years of experience in commerce education, research, and academic administration, she has played a vital role in shaping the department's academic excellence. She also holds the prestigious position of presiding officer of the internal committee at Bharatiya University, where she contributes significantly to ensuring a safe, ethical, and inclusive environment on campus. Her commitment to institutional welfare, student development, and faculty mentorship has earned her immense respect among peers and scholars. Throughout her career, Dr. Dhanabhagya ma'am has recognized for her strong leadership, dedicated service, and impactful contributions to higher education. Her academic insights and balanced administrative approach made her a valued voice in university governance. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Dhanabhagya ma'am to take over the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Respected President Head Rapid K.M. Madhamati ma'am, respected President Head Women's Studies Dr. Jenita, respected Professor Dr. Mangesh Karasi, and Bharani madam from BSME department, and other professors from BSME department, and all my students, my dear students. Good morning to one and all. Students, I am a presiding officer for Internal Compliance Committee, and you have any problem, both the genders, both male and female gender, you have any problem in your department or with your colleagues or with your staff or anyone, okay, please contact me through phone, through the day, 24 hours availability, I am available. Okay, my phone number is exhibited in your board, ICC board. If it is not available, please note my number, mobile number 93451 63052. Please contact through this number, and even you can send mail also. My mail ID is icc@buc.edu.in. icc@buc.edu.in. Now I handed over the session to Mangesh Karasi. Okay, thank you, students. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We are honored to welcome Dr. K. Mangesh Karasi ma'am, Assistant Professor in the Department of Women's Studies, Bharatiya University. It's my honor to introduce today's esteemed guest, Dr. Zanita Roslin ma'am, a distinguished academic leader, researcher, and a powerful voice in women's empowerment and entrepreneurship. Dr. Zanita Roslin ma'am currently serves as the professor and director of the Department of Women's Studies at Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, a position she has held with excellence since 2014, with over 18 years of academic experience and 6 years in industry. She brings a rare blend of practical knowledge and scholarly expertise to her work. She holds an impressive academic background, including a PhD and MPhil in management and
and MBAs in HR and operations, and a PGDCA in computer applications. Her specialization in entrepreneurship and skill development has shaped the lives of hundreds of students, researchers, and marginalized women. Throughout her career, Dr. Rosalind has taken several prestigious responsibilities. She serves as a member of the Human Ethics Committee, a Senate member of Bharatiya University, and has been a Board of Studies member for multiple universities, including Avinashi Lingam and Ayyappa University. Her leadership extends beyond academics as she works closely with organizations such as ROS, IEWs, and a number of prominent NGOs. Her collaboration and span across countries such as USA, Canada, and Spain, as well as national institutions, including the State Institute of Rural Development. Dr. Sanita Rosenham is also a recipient of remarkable honors. She completed the entrepreneurial education course at IIM Bangalore. Her academic contributions include 24 international and 15 national journal publications. Her research credentials are further highlighted by her participation in the annual Conference of Women's Studies in San Francisco, USA, and her recent contribution as a co-editor of the International Open Access textbook, Ending Gender-Based Violence Globally. I'd like to invite Dr. Jinta Rosin ma'am to take over the session. Thank you, ma'am.
A very warm and pleasant good morning to all the beautiful smiles. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
So first, my thanks to Variamai for such an elaborate explanation. Thank you. And my respects to Professor Dr. Malamati Madam, Director of BSMED, for having given us this opportunity. Thanks to Dr. Gandabharti Ma'am for being present here today. And definitely thanks to my colleague Dr. Mandya Percy and my research scholar, Narmada, department scholar, for having coordinated this program. And thanks to Dr. Bharani for having supported us here. And it is definitely a nice day to meet you all in this auspicious day, I should say. Now, to give a brief foundation for the talks further, maybe everybody is in bits and pieces. I will make it very short and crisp so that you all understand what this is all about. Point 1. Now, in 2012, December, we had the Nirbhaya case. I'm not elaborating on the case. You all will be knowing about it. Though you are in the first year, it is awareness level, where she was traveling in the night and she was abused physically by boys, and then it came up the prosecution case, and it went on for 7 long years before the decision was done. Okay, now this in 2012, after this case, we had the Visakha guidelines, which was written as an amendment to protect girls while they were working. Then again, they said there were lots of potholes in that, and it was revised. And in 2013, this act came up, which is otherwise called Protection of Women Against Sexual Harassment at Workplace Redressal Act 2013. Right. Now again, the question is, when it is protection of women by the boys, let me make it this very, very clear to all of you, because we go around, we Magazines, Department of Women's Studies, all over through the year talking gender sensitization, gender sensitization. What is this? See, boys and girls are born equal and they should be brought up equal. Point 1. Second thing, you all must be aware of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, which was initiated in 2015, and we were all supposed to be walking to 2030. So the United Nations says by 2030 the world will be 50-50. What does that mean? Which means boys and girls, men and women will equally participate in all walks of life by 2030. Now what is this all about? I would give you a few examples. Like at least some 5 years before, if you talk about woman pilot, yeah, big question, will a woman be able to really drive or maneuver a plane? Today it is not a question at all. Okay, do you have women cricketers? Yes, we have. Do we have hockey players? Do we have athletes? Yes, we have.
Do we have women astronauts? Yes. Do we have women entrepreneurial leaders in Coimbatore itself? We have many. So in that, women politicians, yes, we have many, right? So women were a clause where they think we are, not even were, are in a patriarchal societal mindset where men are always given an upper position and women are striving to get to that position. So today we are in a situation where all parents want their children, girls and boys, to be equally educated and equally independent. It cannot be the boy goes to the work and the woman does the cooking and washing at home. Sometimes even it's the other way. It's the other way also. So today what happens is, and you all are going to be the future managers, you may have a superior as a woman, you may have a junior as a woman, and when we talk about gender equality or walking towards a gender neutral society tomorrow, we are talking about changing the mindset. And that is what we are talking about today. It is about respecting each other for your qualifications and your skills, irrespective of gender. Do not downtrodden the other person saying you are a female, you are a male, that is insignificant here. How well you are able to qualify your job, you are able to deliver at the table on time, that is more important. And here, because I am basically a managerial candidate and a person from this same department, soft skills. That is also the big gamble today, because beyond your degree, how you really perform and how you behave and interact in the society is so very important for your success. So under the soft skill complex only comes the posh act also. How you have a mindset of respecting each other, giving space, working together and intercultural issues. So in that, here I have the specialist, though I can talk more, I don't want to take time. What is this posh act? What does it say? Because when it was earlier, we would say, if you touch a person or you pinch a person or you market a person physically, then you are qualified as an illegal activity. But today, even if you are going to message a wrong message or call beyond normal timings or send wrong photographs, all your phones are tracked. It can always be removed from the cybercrime cell and again you will get tracked. So what are the norms? So this awareness is common for all. It's not the girl, it's not the boy. Even if the girl sends to the boy or the boy sends to the girl, you are equally going to be prosecuted. That awareness they will give you. So this POSH Act is about protecting women at workplace, but again, how the women have to behave and how the men have to behave, how you have to colloquially be respectful to each other so that you have a common and good successful career, and tomorrow your generation, you will not have to sit and listen to this because you will have a gender neutral society. Everybody will have a common lifestyle. Today we are forced to give you awareness, tomorrow you will not have to do it if you really understand the seriousness of this act. So again, thanks for this opportunity. Looking forward that you all will understand the impact of this act and how well this can be propagated so that you have a peaceful career, and all the best wishes. God bless you all. Thank you.
Now I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Rosalind Ma'am, Head of Department of Women's Studies in Bahia University, to distribute the prizes to Iris Club events, self-portfolio presentation, poster presentation, and brand creation events.
Self-portfolio presentation. The first prize is Mercy Pimentel Namara. Second prize, Fred Design. Third prize, Vishnu Das. prize goes to Team 2. Lizzie, Madhumati, Preeti, Benita, and Varsha Madhumati. Second prize goes to Team 8. Liju Berlin, Hari Karan, Vigneshwaran, Kavya, Aishwarya, and Hari Krishnan. Third prize goes to Team 9. Arul Murugan, Rajesh Kannan, Roshan Aditya, Shakti Dinesh, and Vasu. For brand creation, first prize goes to Team 12. Muralidharan, Satish Kumar, Ramanathan, Gopal, Akash, Shobhit. Followed by second prize goes to Team 11. Jayashree, Lavanya, Ravanya, Haripriya, Deepika, and Shilpa. Third prize goes to Team 14 and Team 18. Subhama, Muttalakshmi, Dhanashri, Kausalya, Narmada, Shalini, Mauna, Priyadarshini, Keshavan, Meenakshi Vidya, Rajarajeshwari. With this moment, we congratulate all the winners and participants who participated in IRIS Club events, self-portfolio presentation, poster presentation, and brand creation events. Now I'd like to invite Dr. G. Varnima, Associate Professor of Cardia University, BSME, to present the vote of thanks.
Most respected Professor and Director of BSMED, Dr. Madhumati ma'am, most respected Professor and Director of Department of Women Studies, Dr. Senator Rosindra, your speech was very impactful. In a very short speech, you said what is required and what is not tolerated. Thank you, ma'am. So your department's contribution is helping us for these good work. And Dr. M. Dhanabhagyam, ma'am, Professor and Head of Department of Commerce and the Presiding Officer, Internal Committee, who was here amidst our tough schedule, and nobody gives a phone number just like that. And ma'am just announced the phone number and give the email ID. And hope you have made a note of that. And In absentia, we thank Professor Dr. M. Annalakshmi Ma'am, Department of Psychology and the convener of Anti-Drug Committee. And we have two subject experts who are empaneled resource persons by Ministry of Women and Child Development, New Delhi. Dr. K. Mangayatharathi ma'am from Women's Studies Department and her scholar who is an ICSSR doctoral fellow and Narmata. They are going to give us a technical session after a short break. We are indeed very thankful for both of them for sharing their time with us. And this is a part of a continuous program, 16 days program that is organized by this department, and they offered it to conduct it as a part of this scheduled event. Thank you for your resourcefulness. And I thank our guest faculty, Dr. Sudhakar sir and Dr. Rajita ma'am. And my thanks are due to all our office faculty, our research scholars, and particularly the students and my dear colloquium team who are continuously running for the past 12 weeks and they are doing a marvelous job. Thank you all a lot. Now the time is exactly 11 in my watch. Okay? 11:10. We are after a short break. We are. No. What are you going to do? No, go to the restroom, come back, that's all. Okay? So 11:10, we are back because there is loads of information that both the experts are going to share with us. And 11:11, we are starting the program. Battalion. Thank you. Today is the 76th Constitution of India Preamble Day. So we are taking the pledge. The pledge is in Tamil. Dear students, you just listen to us. Now please repeat with us. இந்திய மக்களாகிய நாம் இந்திய நாட்டினை இறை ஆண்மையையும் சமநல சமுதாயமும் சமய சார்பின்மையையும் மக்களாட்சி முறையையும் அமைந்ததொரு குடியரசாக நிறுவவும் அதன் குடிமக்கள் அனைவரும் சமுதாய பொருளியல் அரசியல் நீதி எண்ணம் அதன் வெளியீடு கோட்பாடு சமய நம்பிக்கை வழிபாடு இவற்றில் தன்னுரிமை சமுதாய படிநிலை வாய்ப்பு நலம் இவற்றில் சமன்மை ஆகியவற்றை எய்திடச் செய்யவும் அவர்கள் அனைவரிடையும் தனி மனிதனின் மாண்பு நாட்டு மக்களின் ஒற்றுமை ஒருமைப்பாடு இவற்றை உறுதிப்படுத்தவும் உடன்பிறப்புரிமை வளர்க்கவும் உள்ளார்ந்த உறுதி உடையவராய் நம்முடைய அரசமைப்பு பேரவையில் 1949 நவம்பர் 26ஆம் நாளாகிய இன்று ஈங்கிதனால் இந்த அரசமைப்பினை ஏற்று இயற்றி நமக்கு நாமே வழங்கிக் கொள்கிறோம். Thank you.
Welcome you all to the technical session. We are honored to welcome Dr. P. Mangalikaran Ma'am, Assistant Professor in the Department of Women's Studies, Bharatiya University, Kanpur. With over 17 years of experience in women and child welfare, she has made remarkable contributions through awareness, training, and research. She is an empaneled resource person with the Ministry of Women and Child Development Government of India and various government sectors across corporate and educational institutions focusing on the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013. Dr. Mangalikaran Ma'am has successfully organized numerous funded programs on gender budgeting, matrimonial property rights, drug abuse prevention, gender sensitization, and issues concerning women and tribal communities. Under her mentorship, research in gender justice, women in law, health and tribal studies continues to flourish with 1 MPhil and 5 PhD scholars completing under her guidance. Her distinguished work has been recognized with the Nehru Women Excellence Award 2020 among several other commendations for research and social impact. A respected resource person, examiner, and invited speaker, she continues to inspire academic and social change with her commitment to women's welfare and empowerment. With this, I'll welcome you, ma'am, to take over the session.
Good morning. So I thank our department director madam and the coordinator madam and faculty members and all of you for this wonderful gathering. And இவ்வளோ சோகமாக இருக்கு வேண்டாம். You all smile face இருக்கலாம். It's an interactive session only. You have to give response to her speech. When she asks questions, raise your hands, give a response. It's not a syllabus. It's purely for your career and for your family in future. In future, maybe a woman or men, how you are, or how you can change your behaviors, attitude about our gender. Such topics will be covered today. And please volunteers note this point. She will talk about might be about do's and don'ts at workplace for both boys and girls, and sex versus gender, and myths and facts about harassment and gender concepts, and about the drug abuse and how it is interlinked with the violence and usage of drugs, and about digital violence. So 1991 onwards, we and women started to initiate one team for every year, and sometimes color also. So this year they said stop violence against women and girls through digital media, digital era. So we all know now with the digital world, we are accepted to live with digital, right? So again, violence against women also increased through digital media. And I can tell you something about, this is the 50th stage to Miss Narmata. She's a research fellow doing a research work about academics. And before 2 years, she started at bias in KGISL College, and now she's coming here for the 50th participants like you people. I think you all be very interactive and have a questions to her, and time now 11:20. So literally 2 hours can able to sit like this. Karam Nima, 2 hours முடியவே முடியாதுல்ல, என்ன பண்ணலாம்? See, okay, you can cut short the content, that's all. This is particular. So cut short the content. Literally 11:20, 1:15, okay? 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock time வச்சுக்கணும். So we are very conscious about your convenience. So 1 o'clock class முடிச்சுக்கலாம். So for that, we need to cooperation. பக்கத்துல பேசாதீங்க, don't talk to the neighbors, and if you any ask questions, give your answers. Question கேட்டா answers கொடுங்க. And I can say a few concepts about gender equality. You all know about SDG goals, right? SDG system. It goes by what it says. Gender equality. So we are traveling further. And you all know, our madams also said about the 2000 Posh Act 2013. And also the amendment says from 2016 onwards, internal complaints committee is renamed as internal committee. It's not a complaint committee, it's a committee for entire period. That's right, ma'am came and told about the role of IC and Harvard and district committee also. And we have systematic, you all know that 2013, now December 9th, the act is enacted, right? Still, we all not have much aware about the act. Like educated people, like what we know about, we have less knowledge about act. What about the people in our house, in our neighbors? This act includes each and every human. For example, if we are staying here, it is our workplace, right? We have servants in our home, right? So, what is the workplace for a servant? We have home maid, right? Maid irukanga, servant irupanga. So we have servants in our home. So workplace means we believe only the office, only the company, only the such place, hospitals or court or police station like that. But this act specifically included each and every woman. So the servant who is working in our home, our house is a workplace to her. So it is mandatory. We are the person to ensure we are giving comfortable workplace to her. Now my house, we believe it's my house. I can see good movie when I feel good, when I feel have time to see the film. I can see some airplane. This is my house, I can see. But when she's coming for the work, you are a person to give comfortable space to do her work. So, and again, you all know about we are doing digital payment, right? It's good. You are happy with the digital payment? Yes, it indirectly giving economic violence, especially to dependent women. So I think I conclude the session here, and I ask another to handle the session here, and correct our role. Thank you, ma. Thank you all. It's the National Constitution Day, and very happy to meet you in November 26th, Indian Constitution Day. Thank you.
for your valuable and inspiring speech. It is my privilege to introduce Ms. Narmada K, an emerging scholar and a dedicated advocate for women's rights and workplace safety. She is currently a research scholar at ICSSR, doctoral fellow at the Department of Women's Studies, Bharatiya University, where she actively contributes to impactful sessions, academic research on gender issues. Ms. Narmada K is also an empaneled resource person by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, New Delhi, authorized to conduct awareness programs on POSH Act 2013 across institutions and organizations. Through this role, she has been instrumental in spreading essential knowledge on workplace dignity, prevention of sexual harassment, and building safe, gender-sensitive environments. With her strong academic foundation, field exposure, and passionate engagement with gender justice, she has played a meaningful role in bridging research with real-world advocacy. Her sessions are known for their clarity, relevance, and practical approach, making her a sought-after resource person for POSH training and awareness centers. I welcome you to take over the session.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, let us be the proud citizens of India and meeting you on the day of Indian Constitution remembrance is a pleasure. And I thank the Department of the DSMED School for giving us this opportunity, and I thank Dr. Mangalkar Simha for giving me the stage again. And we are actually late by 1.5 hours. The program, we were supposed to start the session at 10. And 11:30 was supposed to be our break time where we'll be halfway through our presentation. But unfortunately, we are starting now. I'll try to rush up as much as possible. I assure I'll wind up by maximum 1 to 1:15. Okay, for sure. I'll not be taking your time beyond that. Okay. So on that note, we'll be cutting short all the activities which we had because we have to go more into the contents. So before I start again, this program is being organized by the Department of Women's Studies in association with the Internal Committee and the Anti-Drug Committee of Bharatiya University. So welcome you all. So we'll not be having any ice breaking because the ice has already been broken up by the previous session. So we'll be directly going into the content. So we are going to talk about gender sensitization first. So before we directly go into the POSH Act, I wish I mentioned this language in English because I can see some people from outside India, so I'm sorry for not being bilingual, but at times when there are requirements, I'll try to be bilingual or else the session will be in English, okay? So on that note, we'll be starting with gender sensitization because only when a person is sensitized with their gender, they can have a better behavior so that, enactment of POSH will not be needed in any institution. After that, we'll be traveling to drug abuse prevention, which is also a part of today's session, and we'll be talking about this year's United Nations theme, that is ending digital violence against women. So before I start, I want you guys to answer this question. Are the terms sex and gender the same? No. What is the difference? I'm going to talk only for 30 minutes. The rest 45 minutes, it will be you guys who are going to talk. Okay, so respond. What is the difference? So whenever we go for any places, when you are filling an application form, right after the name, the next question will be asking your sex or gender. In certain places, you would have noticed they would have asked sex, male or female, and in certain areas they have used it as gender. So which word is actually right? Which usage is actually right according to you? Gender, right? Why? So you understand that there is some difference between sex and gender, but what is it? Do you have any rough idea? There are no right or wrong answers. You can just tell me, we'll be talking about the right answer. Any idea? Somebody? Sex is?
Determined by birth.
Exactly, very good, nice, super. Sex is determined by birth and gender? Yes, exactly. So she has given a gist of today's agenda. That it has covered. Sex is something which is biologically determined by birth based on certain things like, it is determined based on your chromosome or your reproductive organ or things like that. While gender is something which is socially constructed by the society. We have come across this word many times in our life, So gender is something which is socially constructed, but sex is something which is biologically determined. So throughout this session, when we are going to talk about male or female, I am going to address only to their gender attributes. Why this disclaimer particularly Patingana? By sex, only a female can give birth to a child, only a female can feed their child. So this is something which is biological, and how much ever feminist movements come, this cannot be changed because this is basic biology. So when I am saying, okay, gender equality is needed, gender rights is needed, we are not going to touch this sex part which is biologically determined. So keep this in mind. And with that, we will start with the next question. What is stereotype? Stereotype, man. What is stereotype? Any idea? Have you heard of this word stereotype before? What is it? Setting standards. This should be like this, Athena. What is gender stereotype? Discriminating or setting standards for a gender, probably. So we are going to look into various factors where the society plays a predominant role in setting gender. And the first one is physical appearance. Okay. I'm just switching over the slides. Now tell me, what are the ideal physical attributes that are expected from men? That is, the society that man appearance in the features la kandipa irukonu in the society expect பண்ணக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள். What are they? Beard, exactly, very nice. Where? Mustache, beard, where? 6 feet tall, okay, excellent. Where? Dark skin, okay. To some extent, men with dark skin or celebrate, no? Okay, nice. For women. Fair, we must look fair. Smooth skin, long hair, where? Women to men. I'm asking for women. I have moved from men to women. Okay, man requires a manly voice, while a female requires a feminine voice. Okay. So this is how the society expects us to be. Women are expected to be slim and short compared to men. They must have a long hair. And ideal women is portrayed that way, while a man is supposed to have six-pack. He must have a broad shoulder, wide chest, tall, things like that. So how the stereotype plays a role, in my case as well, including me, despite talking about gender rights here, where whenever we go for a wedding, when you see a bride and groom standing, and if in case the bride is taller than the groom, or at least for a fraction of a second, one thought comes to our mind. Who knows the bride is taller than the groom? I mean, there is no wrong in it, right? We are nowhere connected to whether they are tall or short. But then our mind starts thinking that way because we have been tuned that it should always be the man who's taller and it should be the woman listening to his heartbeat. And even all the romantic reels manifest this in one way or the other. The man being tall and the short girl and things like that. So this is first stereotype which we should not actually follow in the society. So whenever you see a guy who is short or a woman who is tall with a masculine voice or maybe having a bob cut, you should not judge them. You should not judge him or her just because the society has stereotyped you in that way. And then that point, next one is domestic behavior. What are the domestic responsibilities that a man does at home? Domestic responsibilities, not legal right? What are the domestic responsibilities that a man performs at home? Sorry? You need to be a bit louder, yes. Profile in the sense? Can you elaborate? Okay, for earning for the family or being the breadwinner of the family. So it is man's responsibility to bring money to the family. Next. Protection, exactly, very nice. Protecting the family. When it comes to ensuring the safety of the family, it must always be a man. What are the domestic responsibilities of a woman? Cooking, cleaning, vessel washing, taking care of children, sweeping the house and things like that. This is like an ideal family setup, but we must confess that in the present generation, men are also cooking at home, men are also cleaning the house to some extent. But when I say this point, many people usually ask this question. No, at my home, my father also cooks, my husband also cooks, my husband also cleans. But once imagine a situation where you are coming and sitting in a class like this doing your post-graduation, it already means that you are coming from a allied background, allied not in the terms of economy, but in terms of ideology, which means you have already broke all the glass ceilings and you are sitting here. But we are not the majority face of our country. Still in rural India, you can't imagine a house where the girl goes to work and the man sits at home and cooks for her. So this is also a stereotype. There are many men who are interested in sending their wives to work and sit at home and take care of the children. But once they do that, the society gives them different names and they are being referred in one way or the other. So they are actually forced to go to work even if they are not interested. So this is one more stereotype. Whenever you hear a man, your friend who is a man who says, no, I have decided to lay back at home and sit while my wife can go and work, please don't mock him from today. And if at all a girl says, I have given birth to a child, biologically my duty is done, and at least for, I also understand that the child needs an emotional support from the mother for say 6 months to 1 year. She has already said when her duty is done, if she is willing to go to work, don't say her that your child is at home, so don't go to work. So stop using those stereotypes, okay? So this you have already addressed. The next one is occupation. Now tell me, what are the ideal occupations for a woman according to the society? Teacher, nurse, excellent nurse, more. Air hostess. Why have you ever imagined a handsome male being an air hostess? Air host. Air hostess. I mean, we don't have a vocabulary called air host. You know, air hostess is something which is a feminine word. Why was there not a word in English vocabulary, air host? And when he was talking about nurses, there is a new word which is emerging in English vocabulary called male nurse. A nurse is a nurse. When you see a female nurse, you don't call her, excuse me, female nurse, come here. But when you see a male nurse, our mind automatically thinks, how come a male is a nurse? You are putting him into a new profession called male nurse. So this is where the stereotype role plays in terms of occupation. When it comes to works which require hard work or more physical inputs like mining, extraction, or say software engineers or some works which are not flexible, which requires the whole day work, it is commonly believed that men can do those occupations better than women, which is actually a stereotype. So you are sitting here and today you feel, okay, I'm going into mining after completing my MBA here, and you're interested in mining things and you want to do extraction work. If at all you believe you have the physical capacity to go to mining, women can very well go. Don't judge them for entering into this so-called man-related occupation. And as well for men, if they are interested in being caretakers of a child or if they are planning to start a kindergarten, don't mock them. So this is where occupational stereotypes play a major role. So I don't have much time, so I'm just switching. But these are certain jobs which are preferred for men and women. I can share the PPT with the representative who was in touch with me. You can see it later if you want. But one particular thing I want to question here: cooks. You know, chef, right? So who cooks at home? Who cooks at home mostly? Mom. But when you go to a Michelin level 5-star hotel, who's the master chef there? Men. So what does this convey? Does that mean that only the women can only cook at home and not at hotels? Or the men who are cooking excellent recipes and showing different cuisine at those 5-star hotels, why can't they cook at home? Where does this difference exist? Who is setting those standards? Or how is this bar being set? Think. We don't have time for discussions, but I'm leaving the questions open-ended so that if you're interested, you can think upon it, or else just forget when you go out of this room. Okay? Next. I have a question to you. I'm going to tell you a story. Before I tell the story, I'm going to introduce about the main character of the story. And then that main character's name is Pat. And I'm saying that Pat is an active, independent, competitive, and aggressive person. Before I progress, I'm asking you, is Pat male or female? Forget that you are in a gender sensitization class. Forget that you want to think beyond the box. Think within the box you are already in. Now tell me, how many of you think this Pat in my story is male? Raise your hands. Okay. How many of you think this Pat is female in my story? Okay, few. Those who didn't raise hands, what are you thinking in your mind now? Oh, that is none of my business. I don't care now. Why didn't you raise your hand? Tell me. I'm asking you again, I want all of you to respond. How many of you think Pat is male? Okay. How many of you think Pat is female? Okay, put down. Now my question, for those who said male, why did you feel Pat is male? Which particular word made you feel Pat is a male? Pat could be a male. Aggressive, okay. Those who thought female, why did you think Pat will be a female? Independent. Okay. So that is how the society ideally thinks you think, or probably just because we are talking so much about gender, you would probably feel a woman should be independent other than a woman. Anyway, in my story, Pat was actually a female. There is no story I'm going to tell. This was just an activity. But this is how the society works. When I say somebody is independent, or when I say somebody is aggressive, men are allowed to be aggressive in public, while women can't shout in public. And men are expected to be independent at any cost, while women are always expected to be the Cinderella's waiting for the hero to come and rescue her. She may be the heroine of the story, or she may be the main picture of the story, but she always needs a hero to come and rescue her so that her storyline may continue. And there are many blockbuster movies in Tamil which I don't want to point specifically. They say it is women-centric movie. But in many cases, that woman will be kidnapped at the first 30 minutes of the movie itself. The entire 2 hours of the movie, the hero will be fighting with some 1,000 villains. At the end, when they come out, people say, அந்த மொத்த படமுமே அந்த ஒரு பொண்ணை வெளியே கூட்டிட்டு வரக்காக தான் நீங்க ஏன் புரிஞ்சுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க. But that பொண்ணு is not in the screen. She was already kidnapped in the first scene itself. So this is how this stereotype works when it comes to personality traits. In this, I have also another question. What are the common personality traits that are expected in a man by the society, not according to your dreams or whims? Lastly, what are the personality traits that the society expects from an ideal man? Tell me. Real men don't. Real men don't cry. Yeah. So this is one thing. Men are not supposed to cry. They are supposed to be bold. They are not supposed to be sensitive. Where? Add more characteristics for a man. Tough. Okay, he must be rough and tough. Okay, next. What is it? I'm not getting it. I'm sorry. I'm not getting the meaning. I'm sorry. I have a problem with this. Spell it. Man up. What is man up? I mean, be like a man. Okay, man up. Be like a man. Okay, nice. Okay, he has put it very short. Be like a man. So what is that? Be like a man? That is the question here. Add more points. Okay, tell me what are the ideal characteristics that are expected from a woman? Soft, humble, calm, caring. Acham madam nanam payir. Yeah. I feel like I'm talking in some 1x speed just to rush. You know, when I speak, I feel like I'm being fast forwarded into some 1.5, but it's okay. I have no other job. I mean, I have no other option. So, okay, so we'll be looking into some of the ideal characteristics. You have almost covered it, but the point here is the society has set some standards. Women, okay, be like this. Man, be like this. I'm telling you here, always try to break that stereotype. Even men, you can cry in public. If you want to be dependent, be dependent. If you want to be soft, be soft. And if somebody is judging you, please don't care about it, because that is none of their business. But it is your choice to make a decision, and that applies to women as well. If you want to shout in public, shout in public. If you want to be rough, be rough. If you want to take a day off from caring for your family, you can probably take a day off if the situation permits. And if somebody is stereotypically telling you that you are breaking your gender norm, please don't give a shit about it, okay? So this is one particular point. Next. As we have already discussed, I'm moving to the next slide. I'm going to tell you a certain word. After I tell the word, I want you guys to respond with 2 words, male or female. Don't use both, okay? Because both is not allowed. When I tell that word, what comes to your mind? Either male or female. You're going to respond and you need some, okay? Driver? Male. I want all of you to respond so that it reaches my ears, okay? Rescuing? Okay. Dancing? Okay. Teacher? Okay. Cooking? Pink? Okay. Doctor? Okay, nurse. Okay, cars. Six pack. Scientist. Okay, I heard mixed. Okay, blue. Okay, cleaning. Okay, nice. Lawyer. Okay, engineer. Spanner set. Computers. Okay, glitter. Female. Mathematician. Mathematician. Okay, female. Okay. Diet drinks. Okay. Where did this idea come from? I'm making this question again open to you. Think it yourself. I don't want to comment about it. You're all grown-ups. Think about it. Why did you respond in a certain way? What if your response was in the other way? Did the society accept you? And are you going to give a care that the society is not accepting you? Or are you going to turn towards an ideal citizen who lives in a gender-neutral society? I'm leaving this open to you. Next, I want you guys to respond true or false to certain statements which I'm going to make now. This probably requires a discussion. I'll be discussing it after you finish. Men discuss, women gossip. False. I support you. I'll give you an explanation for that. Okay. Women are emotional and they cry while men get angry in the face of disrespect. Okay. Women love to shop. Men hate shopping. Okay. Makes sense. Parenting comes naturally to women than men. Okay. Boys can like pink and girls can like blue color. Okay, true. Okay. Girls can like dinosaurs and trucks. Boys can like princesses and Barbie dolls. False. Okay. Boys are better than girls at math and computer. Majority of girls are getting a biased look, like girls do better in school than boys. Okay. Girls are better at sports than boys. Okay, all boys are saying false and girls are saying true. Okay, I'm not going to discuss on every aspect, but certain aspects I wish to discuss. This first one, men discuss, women gossip. It is actually partially true because a woman's biggest enemy is another woman. Why I'm telling you this? Even men gossip, but at least they gossip the content. I'll give you an example. Imagine a situation, a boy and girl from your class, they are leaving a bike together after the class. Imagine a situation. 10 boys are going to discuss about this incident. Each are going to discuss it separately. The first man who sees this scenario will convey it to the second man that the girl and boy went together in the bike. Till it reaches the 10th man, probably they will say they both were laughing together and going in bike. This is the extent men gossip. But when it comes to women, we must admit, the first woman itself will say to the second woman, they both were hugging each other while they went in the bike. Second will take to the third, and when it goes to the 10th person, it will go to an extent where we say they both went to register office to do a registered marriage. We don't know who is the real culprit or where the message got decoded this way, but women, we must hardly accept this fact that at times we are the primary culprits when it comes to creating rumors about another person. And we always forget that when we become the center of topic of that rumor, the pain will be more. But we just make statements out of air, which we should actually avoid. Despite talking gender equality, there are certain flaws in our side as well which needs to be addressed. So remember, when you're going to gossip next time, do gossip, but gossip the facts. And don't add spices to it. If you are really interested in creative thinking, you can take a soft core in media studies and give your creative content there, but not in somebody else's life. One. Next, this I agree. Okay, women love to shop, men hate shopping. I heard many of you say it. But to the students of MBA, I wish to say this thing. Imagine a situation. I'm going to give you 5,000 to one girl and 5,000 to one boy, and you are allowed to go to Brookfields and spend it the way you want. When the girl enters the Brookfields mall, her mind automatically thinks, okay, let me take 5 tops for 1,000 each from 5 different stores. That is how a girl's natural instinct works. She goes to 5 different shops, she picks 5 dresses and she comes out with 5 covers. Imagine a man, he is being given 5,000, he enters one branded shop, he can buy maximum one shirt or one shoe probably. he comes out with one bag. What does this convey? A recent research has proven that in terms of shopping, the money spent on products men top the list. The number of products purchased, women top the list. So what does this convey? The purchasing power remains the same for men and women, but when it turns into the number of products purchased, probably women have more products on hand, while men have less products. But that does not mean that the money spent, it is the vice versa. Okay. And again, talking about the flaws which we women have, women doing window shopping for products which you know you are never going to use in your life. Even if you see a child a diaper product, we have this natural instinct. Click that link, go till the last, see all the specifications as if we have two children sitting at home for diaper. We do that. And even if you see a saree worth some 15 lakhs worn by a celebrity, we know we are never going to buy a 15 lakh saree and keep it locked in the wardrobe. But we have this natural instinct. Go till the last, okay, the dupatta is saying that this. Please don't do that, because all these data are being recorded in digital media and it is being shown that women spend more time on shopping in e-commerce sites while we never buy the products, while we just sit on those products and check for our curiosity. This is one factor which I needed to address. And then coming to the politics behind color and the toys, I'll stop this here. So color, number one. How many men here admit that I like pink color? Raise your hands. Okay, a few. How many women here admit you like black or blue color? Okay, put down. Thank you. So what does this convey? Here the point is, all men sitting here, imagine a green girl coming in a pink saree. You will probably love her more when she is coming in pink saree. It is not that you have an aversion to pink color, but the society has tuned your mind in certain way that when a guy comes and admits my favorite color is pink, he is immediately being called by some bad names, which is actually preventing him from admitting that he likes pink. But girls are actually changing to a greater extent in this point, because I have seen many girls who have moved from this pink syndrome to black syndrome. And girls believe that, okay, my favorite color is black and I feel cool about loving black. So, men, just think in a different perspective. Probably, if you like pink color or not, I'm not forcing you that you must like pink color, but you may like it, but you're not probably ready to admit it, think it. And next, the politics behind the toys. Whenever we are being invited for a birthday party of kids, when I say, okay, come to the birthday party of my son, what gifts you usually go and buy in the shop? What toys? Cars, robots. Okay. When I say come for the birthday party of my daughter, what comes to your mind? Barbie dolls, princess, makeup sets. Have you ever tried gifting different? Have you ever tried gifting a Barbie doll to a small boy? Even he plays beautifully with that Barbie doll. Even he plays beautifully with a teddy. Even he hugs the teddy and sleeps. But we believe, no, this is girls. We can't gift it to a boy. So from his childhood, you are socializing him in a way that Barbie or makeup is something which are for girls. Keep that. And when it comes to remote car or guns or dinosaurs, give it to a girl child. Even she'll play beautifully with it. Even she'll control the remote car so beautifully. But our society has stereotyped us in certain way that even gifting is actually politics. So try thinking in alternate ways. Next, we are nothing without media. So I want to say how media is actually reinforcing these gender stereotypes. These are certain images which were taken from famous selling children comic books. Even the children comic books are actually portraying men in a certain way, you can see, while women are being portrayed in a certain way. So children who are continuously reading these comics and growing up, they feel, okay, as I grow up, I have to ideally fit into the hero which I have seen in my comic book, which is actually a wrong portrayal. And next, this is again an image taken from some of the famous e-commerce sites. I'm not going to mention what the site is, but when you type in the search option, gift idea for boys, kids, the first thing which comes up is, the book, the gift ideas. When you type book, gift ideas for boys, the best choice of that particular e-commerce site will be how to be clever. You can even try it. But when you type book gift ideas for kids, girls, how to be gorgeous is coming up. So what is this e-commerce site trying to say? When you're going to buy a book for a kid, he's being taught to be clever, while for a girl it is gorgeous, which is actually wrong. Next, what does this particular advertisement convey to you? It reads the healthier option for your little book. It is for a dairy product. What is the hidden message which I am trying to at least speak here? What is it trying to say? Obviously, the diary product may be good, but what is the hidden message which I am trying to address here? Do you have any idea? Yeah, exactly. Why a daughter there? The mother is cooking, she is taking this legacy of the dairy product to the next generation. But the media company could have probably kept the son there and showed it in a way that the mother is teaching her son. But it is always a daughter because it is believed the next generation she is going to cook and not the son. And what this couple t-shirt is actually a chaos and a menace. I have seen various social media celebrities posting couple t-shirts and we always get viewed when somebody posts. So what happens when some famous, our favorite personality is posting some couple t-shirt, even we flaunt couple t-shirts. And these are certain images of some bullshit couple t-shirts. Be a Batman, training to be Batman's wife. What does that mean? As if she has nothing else to do in her life. Some Batman is there, it seems, and she's training to be that Batman's wife. As if that girl has no other duty in her life. And next, be a hero, need a hero. So what does this again mean? So he is the hero and she's wanting a hero. That hero comes, okay, they fall in relationship and things proceed that way. So don't actually encourage such things just for the sake of social media trends or hashtags. Whenever you do something, be cautious of your activities because when you both are going to wear this t-shirt and walk together, there are people who are going to see you, admire you and buy this t-shirt again. But we are setting a wrong standards actually. Okay? Keep this in mind. Now, this are all probably you may feel these are all over exaggerations, but we are just talking the truth. We must also accept that the scenario is changing. What are these pictures? Female-centric movies. Yes, we accept that the scenario is changing and there are many welcome changes that are happening in the society. But again, the problem, where does it come? Do you think all these movies were so much successful when it came to box office collection? Yes, they were successful, but were they equally successful to a male-centric movie or some of the famous stars movie? It is a big no, because I have seen and heard many of my friends saying, take Loga, they have all, I have seen many of my friends say, because Loga is excellent it seems, the reviews are good it seems. But, okay, we'll watch it in OTT when it comes to OTT. Why? Will you say this when this trailer got released, those friends actually rushed to buy tickets. Where did the difference arise? They are actually not interested to go to a movie which doesn't have main hero doing stunts there. So the scenario is changing. The film producers and directors are welcoming female-centric movies. But are we ready to accept the change or are we ready to fit ourselves with the changing system? It is a big no. Think again, okay? We are going to cut this because we don't have time when we are already like so late. I'm going to skip this activity. Now we are moving to the Posh Act. Already many of them have spoke about Posh Act like the previous things. I just want to talk about what constitutes sexual harassment according to you. Okay, what constitutes sexual harassment according to you? Or what is sexual harassment? Is only rape a sexual harassment? Okay. Is only grabbing a female or male's body part a sexual harassment? No. Sexual harassment is something beyond that. We are going to look into a certain list. Any physical contact or advance, where you are not physically touching the person, but any contact or advance which makes the person standing opposite to you feel uncomfortable, that also constitutes sexual harassment. In the Basila Bogila Raita versus all this also constitutes sexual harassment. A demand or request for sexual favor. Demanding or requesting sexual favor in terms of assuring that I'll give you promotion, you will be given this, that also constitutes sexual harassment. Making sexually colored remarks. This particular thing, we are all doing it in our day-to-day life without even noticing that we are actually doing it. When a person is actually having certain issues, you can talk to them, but when you are actually trying to make a sexually colored remark, say there are certain words in Tamil which has this another protestina. Have you heard of such words? We all use it. We just think it is one normal bad word like other bad words. But these are all called as sexually colored remarks which you should fail to use in your life. And almost all the bad words in Tamil refer to some somebody's mother or wife. We don't, even if you're going to scold a man, you don't scold that man by saying a masculine bad word, but all the bad words in Tamil have been tailored addressing to the female gender. So all these sexually colored remarks also constitute sexual harassment. Showing pornography or sending pornography, or you all know what is pornography. So sending it to a person without their consent or showing it from distance, even that constitutes sexual harassment. Inappropriate gestures, you know which gestures are inappropriate. Don't do it. If somebody notices you doing inappropriate gesture and if they're going to report, you can't say, I didn't go and hurt her in person or I was not in close proximity. Even if you were standing in 1 kilometer far and they noticed in binoculars that you were doing an inappropriate gesture, that also constitutes sexual harassment. And in here, the remaining things, you know, grabbing a body part, attacking to rape, all this constitutes sexual harassment. So this Posh Act, Zenita ma'am talked about Nirbhaya case, but this Posh Act actually has its base even before that. This concept of Posh, the base was laid in the year 1992. Look at this lady, her name is Bandwari Devi. She is from Rajasthan. She belongs to a marginalized community and she got elected to a government job in Rajasthan. Her government job was to prevent child marriage in the state. So that on that particular day when this incident happened, her duty was to stop a child marriage which was happening between the zamindar of a village and an innocent girl. She went there, she succeeded in stopping the marriage, but the next day what happened was that zamindar along with the 18 zamindars who were living in the nearby villages came to her house and gang raped Bandwari Devi in front of her husband, saying that coming from a marginalized community, you have intruded into our religious custom and tradition. She was gang raped, but she survived the rape. She fought rigorously for justice, to seek justice for her, whatever has happened to her. She went to the High Court of Rajasthan, but she couldn't get justice there. And some NGOs helped her. Finally, this incident happened in the year 1992. And only in 1997, she got judgment and she got justice and those persons were imprisoned. And that is when the concept of Vishaka guidelines came into existence. Vishaka guidelines were enacted in the year 1997 and the guidelines speaks about workplace ethics, do's and don'ts in workplace, how to behave with men or women. And after 1997, almost 15 years, still there were instances of sexual harassment and then in 2012, this Nirbhaya gang rape or Nirbhaya case came into this media's attention. Why so much sensation for Nirbhaya case? Why do you think there was so much media attention for Nirbhaya case? Because we know that a woman is being raped every 10 minutes in some part of our country. Why was this particular incident spread so much? We all know Nirbhaya case, right? We also call it as the Delhi gang rape case, where a doctor was gang raped in Delhi by a gang of rogues. So why did this particular incident get so much attention? Because take this case of Brindavan Nagar, which happened very recently. The girl is being accused for one particular reason. What is it? She was in a dark place at unduly time. So this is one common excuse which many people are giving against her. But this case, Nirbhaya case, she was not in any dark or secluded place, but she was traveling in the public transportation, which is believed to be the most safest throughout the country. And where did this incident happen? In the national capital of India. Delhi is a state which is actually forecasting India to the outside world, and in the national capital of India, a girl was not safe in the most widely used public transportation. There was no wrong in her side. She was a doctor, her duty was at night, she was going back after work, and she was gang raped. So there were no justice or there were no justifications that can be given to the accused side, and that is why media widespread the incident, and finally this incident happened in 2012 and this Posh Act was introduced in the year 2013 because the government felt Vishaka guidelines didn't serve its purpose fully. And then this Posh Act came into existence. One difference between Vishaka and Posh Act is the punishments were made more stricter and there were certain new provisions which were added. And in that note, the first provision that was mainly added by the Posh Act was the internal committee. So we had Ms. Dr. Dhanabhagyam ma'am, she is the presiding officer, the one who gave her number. She is the presiding officer of internal committee of Bharatiya University. So what does this internal committee do? Or what constitutes a workplace according to the Posh Act? all these constitute a workplace. So ma'am was talking about your housemates coming to your home. I don't think you are actually getting what she was trying to say. So when a housemaid is coming to work at your home, that might be a home for you, but that is a workplace for the housemaid. You can't say that I will be taking all the liberty I need to take at home, and you can't just continuously show some inappropriate gestures when she is at work there, because for her it is a workplace and you are an employer there, and it is your duty to ensure that she is being treated with dignity. So starting from the house to sports facilities. Why sports facilities? Our physical education students are there. They go for tournaments to different places during different times. They go to swimming, they go to basketball. So wherever they go, even the stadiums where they play, it is their workplace. So even sports persons are covered, and even the students of educational institutions are covered. According to Post Act, any institution which has more than 10 women working in the institution must constitute an internal committee, and one woman should be the president of internal committee. And if any incidents or untoward incidents of sexual harassment happen inside the campus, you can very well contact the IC committee. Workplace doesn't mean only this faculty or university, but the time you take to travel from your place of residence to the university, as well as going back to your place of residence after work, is also covered under this Post Act. So imagine you are coming by public transport. If you are facing any sexual harassment in public transport, that also you can come and complain in the internal committee. Though the person who is going to commit that crime is not an insider of Bharati or university, it is the prime duty of the internal committee here to find out who the person is and to proceed with the case in a police station. So you can't say that if only the professor is misbehaving. No. Anywhere. But you imagine going out for an outing on Sunday and you are facing sexual harassment in some mall, that is not covered. When you are going to come to the university or going back from the university, you will be ensured protection under the internal committee. And do's and don'ts. You all know certain do's and don'ts. I'm not going to talk about the whole list. The one thing which you must remember is, ensure zero tolerance culture. No means no. You can't say he was just touching on the first day or day one, so I left it. The next day he grabbed my body part. No. The very first day he touches you, if you are not feeling safe, that is actually no. Okay? And next, offensive jokes. You can't say, I was just joking. Why did she get hurt? Or why did he get hurt? If a joke is hurting a person standing opposite to you, that is actually offense. Okay? And the mannequins, you all know, they already spoke. And about the timeline, whenever a sexual harassment incident is happening, you are supposed to complain about that incident within 90 days of its occurrence. Because imagine you are all here for probably 2 years, and some incident happens to you in first year, you can't keep it in your heart till you complete your MBA and give it when you go out of it. No. Within 90 days you are supposed to give complaint. If at all, if you are going to give beyond that also, the IC committee will take the case, but you will be facing questions why you were late. And number 2, giving false or giving false or malicious complaint is also wrong. Just because you don't like a person, you can't go and give a complaint, a false complaint that he sexually harassed. In that case, you will be imprisoned for 1 year, and you are supposed to pay a fine of 1 lakh to the person whom you falsely accused. Keep in mind, only true and genuine complaints are encouraged by the IC committee. Okay, so this is, you already had the break. This was supposed to be completed by 11:30, and since we are already running out of break, we are going to look into the next topic. Okay. Drugs. What are the various forms of drugs that you know? Answering to this question does not mean that you think you are a drug addict. Okay. This is just general knowledge. Tell me, what are the various forms of drugs that you know? Sorry? Cocaine? Heroin, okay. Marijuana, okay. Sorry? Scammer. Stamp. Okay, that is new to me. There many met crystals, you have so many, right? You have magic mushroom, you have so many. I know you guys know it. Keep it a secret. I don't mind. I'll tell you. It's a drug. Is this a drug? Yes. Taking medications on your own is also a drug abuse. How many of you here can tell for sure that you have never consumed even single tablet in your life without a doctor's prescription? Raise your hand. Excellent. Okay, 1, 2. Have ever had a tablet without doctor's prescription? Okay, other than the two, almost all of us in this hall, we are all MBBS graduates because when you have a slight increase in temperature, you feel okay. Let me took a paracetamol. Okay, if you have cold, you know the basic medicines for almost all the basic illnesses we get, which is actually a form of drug abuse. So when I say drug abuse, it doesn't only mean whatever the crude form of drugs which we discussed. Even this is a drug. Okay, this you all know alcohol, cigarettes, and these are whatever we spoke now. This is a drug. Right. How many of you are coffee addicts? Coffee, tea, whatever, boost, Bonita, whatever. Okay, put down. Put down. Okay. I've literally heard people say whenever I go for a tea or coffee shop, I have seen a group of people sitting, and if there will be one person who is very much tense, I have heard he or she saying this. ஒரே டென்ஷன் காஃபி குடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் எனக்கு அப்படியே ஒரு பவர் வந்து போய் நான் என்ன பண்றேன்னு பாரு. That is one common thing we all say in our lives. As if you have an assignment and a deadline of say 1 month is given, you are not going to complete it. The day before this deadline, you believe you take this coffee and this assignment is done. No, the coffee is not doing that assignment. It is you who is doing it. But the coffee addiction has made you believe that coffee has some supreme power by which you are being guided. That is actually wrong. Okay, so that is also a form of addiction. இல்லைனா வந்துட்டு ரொம்ப மாடர்ன் ஃபார்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் ட்ரக்ஸ், e-cigarettes, e-car, things like that. Food and addiction. This is also an addiction. And when I say drug, what is the literal dictionary meaning of the word drug? No, any substance that enters your body and creates some magic effect on your body. அது எல்லாமே drug. In that way, even this food, ajinomoto, taste preservative, everything is a drug. I am preaching here that this is not allowed, but I will probably go to KFC and have some chicken because I am craving now for that. But our socialization process has made us believe that this is a normal day-to-day routine. But these are also drugs. Keep in mind that when we are going to talk about drug abuse, I am not going to preach you that you are not supposed to do that and all. This is just giving you for your information. Next, other addictives. Tell me, what are the strange addictions you have to different kinds of smell in your day-to-day life? Petrol, okay. Books, different kinds of smell and addiction. Money. Wow. Mangata, next. New bag. Okay. Phenyl smells a little. And the smell of soil after rain, manvasana, that is a craving. And there are certain weird eating habits you may have. Anybody with some weird eating habits? I have seen people who eat chalk piece. Things like that. Slate pencil, chalk piece, tip pencil or a tipper. I had one of my friends in my school, when I was in school. When I was in school, we have a practice in our school where if two people are sitting and talking together, the punishment they get is that they will be allowed to go and sit. Right? They will be punished to go and sit below that board. They have to face the wall and sit below that board. So what happened? This girl, she continuously initiates conversations and she was always sitting below the board for almost 1 whole year when she was in her school. Only later we realized that she had this habit of eating the dust which is being settled at the corners. Not only in chalk powder, but she had this weird addiction of eating the dust which is settling. Okay. So when she is sitting in the dust, her brain will not get satisfied. So she talks and then she gets the punishment. She sits there and she was taking this dust and she was eating. When she got admitted in hospital for chronic stomach pain, she was diagnosed that she had this craving. And you won't believe me, I was in contact with her till I completed my post-graduation. For almost 5 years, she was literally going through a rehabilitation program to come out of this addiction, okay? So all these were actually drugs. Drugs அப்படின்னா நம்ம முன்னாடியே சொன்ன மாதிரி a weird substance that is creating a weird effect on your body. Most of the drug addicts we have heard them say, they அடிச்சா சர்வாகரத்துக்கே போயிட்டு வர மாதிரி இருக்குது. They don't know what is சர்வாகரம், but they feel I am going to transverse and travel in some ஏதோ ஒரு magic world in a travel பண்ணுவோம். So what they do when there is some colleague or close friend of them, they will say, "I want to அடிச்சு பாரு எங்க போயிட்டு வருவ? You had a breakup. Take this and see. You forget that girl and you will move forward in your life." Things like that happen. So we are going to talk about such things. So these are certain addictions in your day-to-day life. What I'm going to say about these addictions, petrol smell pudiko. So when I go to petrol gun to fill petrol, I'm going to smell it apina, that is okay. But I will join as a worker in petrol station only because I like petrol smell apina, that is addiction. And petrol smell pudikadha, நான் petrol வாய வேலைக்கு போலாம்னு இருக்கேன். அவர் எனக்கு வந்து paint smell பிடிக்கும். So my profession will be a painter apina. In that case, those strange additives are also your drug addiction because you are getting carried away by some strange products. Okay. Okay. Why drug abuse? Yeah, drug abuse அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, first one is changing socialization. For some 30 years, you can't imagine a situation, at least in India, where where the father and the son, or where the mother and daughter sitting together and drinking. But in these days, it has become a normal day-to-day routine where the family sits together and drinks in the bars and pubs. So what is the primary motive here? Changing socialization is normalizing certain things which are not actually normal. I'm not here to preach that our culture and the purity, sanctity of India should be maintained. That is not the case here. But the problem is, what are the ill health effects it is going to give you? I'm going to talk only about the health aspects. The first one is changing socialization. Easy supply from neighboring countries. Knowingly or unknowingly, India is enemy to almost all its neighbors. So all the neighbor countries are waiting to destroy the backbone of India, that is the young and the youth resources. So what they believe, when they are easily supplying drugs, the youth may get carried away. That is one reason. Next is there are so many this particular thing, increasing purchasing power. When back in my school, maximum pocket money I get from my parents is say some 50 rupees per week only when I am getting so good at home. But these days I have seen my sisters kids demanding 200 rupees per day because they say we have cafe coffee day in our school. I mean, she's in class 2. I don't know what she's going to do at cafe coffee day, and I wonder why that school gave permission to keep cafe coffee day inside their school campus. Cafe products are not allowed for kids, but literally their school has a cafe coffee day, and her demands have grown. So what happens? We are put in a position that we are supposed to give more money to the kids, and once the purchasing power increases, out of curiosity, there are chances that the kids may misuse the money which we are giving them. So these are various factors that lead to drug abuse. What are the causes of drug addiction? Why do you believe a person uses drug for the first time? What are the various factors? Pressure, peer pressure, okay. Next. Various reasons for drug abuse. The last 2 rows are living in a parallel world. I wonder what wonderful reels you are watching. If you can share it to me, then I can watch it when I get free time. Tell me, what are the various factors that leads to drug abuse? Get the cool, different feel. Okay, nice. Peer pressure, get where? Breakup, isolation, okay. Bike speed up or drug addiction speed up normal. Even if the RPM is not supporting, okay, let it be. But bike speed up okay, where? Curiosity, excellent, where? So these are certain factors. Number 1, inaccurate information. They give so much false hope that the youth easily get carried away. Curiosity, stress, who has this and all, and the rejection. Otherwise, maybe or inferiority complex that they are probably not fitting into the system of India, they take drugs. So these are various factors that lead to drug abuse. Why is drug abuse particularly high among youngsters? Why? Common causes. Why drug abuse particularly high among youngsters in Pakistan? To feel older, to ensure that they are grown-ups. Or 90s kids பார்த்தீங்கன்னா when the first mustache or beard comes out, they feel they are older. இப்போ இருக்கக்கூடிய Gen Z gets to feel older, they believe they have to take at least alcohol or cigarette. First time they consume alcohol or cigarette, they believe, okay, I'm grown up now, I'm already matured enough to handle alcohol and drugs. So first factor is to feel older, to feel cool, as she was saying. சும்மா cool பாருங்க. So there are many people. We had this movie. What is it? Arjun Reddy. I love Vijay Deverakonda in general, but in Arjun Reddy, Vijay Deverakonda is a criminal who actually did a medical negligence and he was fired from his job. But there are many people who admire Vijay Deverakonda and Arjun Reddy for being different or for setting different hero standards. This is where again media is playing its role. அப்போ ஒரு டிஃபரெண்டா ஃபீல் பண்ண, கூலா ஃபீல் பண்ண we take drugs. Next we have peer pressure. 10 பேர் இருக்காங்க, only one person is not drinking, and he'll be branded as one boomer person in the gang. So what to do? My friends are drinking. If I don't drink, they leave me alone and go for drinks. Okay, take it as one. Friends, family, stress, boredom, celebration. I want to talk about this one particular term. Social drinking. What does this mean? People say, do you drink? When you ask them, do you drink? There are certain people who say, I am a social drinker. What does that mean? Okay, drinking occasionally during functions. But this social drinking, addiction, there will be certain people who say, I am a social drinker. I drink only on my friends' birthdays. How many friends you have? I have just 50 friends. What does that mean? Almost எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு நாள் birthday வருதுனாலும் per year 50 persons in 1 month you will be getting 2 people's birthday on average, which means you are almost drinking twice in a month, which is 15 days once. You are not a social drinker, you are a drinker. அவ்வளவுதான். So don't come up with this word, I'm a social drinker, occasional drinker. No. We are going to discuss that in the next slide. Okay, before I discuss this one, what is this images conveying? Who are they? Superstar. What are they doing? Okay, so these are all celebrities in one field or another. You have certain people from Tamil cinema, you have Rock, Obama, you have people. And there are many followers to them, and when you see such people doing all these stunts in media, theatre, or a big screen, imagine Vijay coming with cigarettes lighted. In India, there will be one statutory warning: drinking is injurious to health. Will you ever look at the screen உங்களோட mass hero admire பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? கீழ இருக்கக்கூடிய statutory warning படிச்சிட்டு இருக்கீங்களா? Why is this not a statutory warning not being played in the hero's face? So that when he is coming, you will be looking into his face, the statutory warning will go into your mind. They won't do that. It is put at the bottom where you don't read. And what happens? All these people, when you are sick பண்ணுவாங்க, smoke பண்ணுவாங்க, after the movie they get crores and crores, they go, they completely detoxify their body, they come back energetic in their lives. That is why Rajinikanth is alive at 75. Despite the fact that Rajinikanth is my favorite hero, I must say this. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? Spending money for the ticket first. Buy that ticket, go, see him, spend so much money on whatever favorite cigarette brand they were using, destroy our lives. So they are earning for smoking while we are losing our lives for smoking or drinking. So don't get influenced just because your favorite celebrity is doing it. Okay? That is one most stupid reason you can give for drug addiction. If you at least say, I had pressure, I drank, that is okay. But you can't say, Dhanush அந்த படத்துல கெக்கா அடிச்சிட்டு வந்தாரு, சாய் பல்லவி உடனே லவ் பண்ணாங்க. So நானும் அந்த ஒரு மாதிரி ஃபீல்காக பண்ணேன். No, that is not going to work in your real life. Even girls, they feel cool when a boy is drinking or smoking, but when it comes to the fact that they want to accept that boy or girl as their life partner, they won't do it. Men are happy when their friends who are girls sit and give them a company, but then when it comes to accepting her as wife, the percentage is less. I have seen many husbands and wives also drinking, but the point here is the percentage is less. The acceptance is real and partly. Remember the health consequences it is going to give you. Okay. So we don't have time. So this is what I wanted to try to say here. There are 3 stages when it comes to drug. The first stage is drug abuse, where you are abusing the product. In this stage, if you are there, it is okay. You can come out of it easily. Next stage, drug dependence. That is, I want it daily. Every coffee. I can't live without it. In the dependence stage. The The third stage is drug addiction. Once you enter into stage 3, it is hard for you to come out of it. So when you are in stage 1 or 2, try to come out of it. Don't enter into the most rigorous third stage. Okay, this is not needed. What are the consequences? Okay, you use drugs அப்படினா, in all the spheres you have your own consequences. Health, obviously your health is spoiled. Your family will hate you. Continuously குடிச்சிட்டே இருக்கிற ஒரு person ஒரு family function வராங்க அப்படினா the entire family will feel இவங்க வராம இருந்துட்டாலே function will go smoothly. So you will be facing neglect from the family as well as the society, social stigma, occupational. Answer ready now example. குடிச்சிட்டு போனாங்க, he lost his job and that has an impact on the economic ability of that person. So in the drug addiction, you have all these factors. We all know that you have all these factors. After all this, if you are choosing to use it, that is up to you. Okay. Prevention techniques. Prevention is nothing. Educate pananum, awareness pananum. That is where we are talking about here on a Sunday morning level. We are talking about it because we have to give it awareness and addiction. Parental self-control should be there. But no parent will go and say, take this 100 rupees, go take or go to money. They are not saying it. But it is all about your self-control. Keep that in mind and nothing beyond that. Okay? Government initiatives. We have the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. That is on 26th of June. So on that day, special 16 days and October 2nd, Gandhiji's birthday. Gandhiji was always against drugs. So in India, we are doing some special occasions on that day and drinking and driving. Okay. Okay. I seriously want to give a break because there were so many activities in the middle which I skipped because of shortage of time. But I hope I have rushed and you have only one topic left, that is digital violence, which is going to take only 15 minutes. At least I need a break for my tape recorder, which is continuously running at 1.5 speed. To play this activity, I want 3 persons, and this is not nowhere related to gender sensitization or whatever. It's a fun activity. I want 3 volunteers to come. 3 volunteers. I have seen 2 people stand up and sit. Yeah, you also. I saw you standing up and sitting. Why? Come. Fun game, that's all. To have a break from this tape, one more girl, I want it to be a girl. Come. Okay, winding up a 3 hours class in 1 hour 15 minutes is not a joke. Where is your right? Okay, nice. I thought he ran away actually. Nice. So this activity is just for fun, as I told you. It is more related to your whatever sensitization we are doing here. This is 2 truths and 1 lie. Your task, we are going to talk about, we are going to tell 3 statements about yourself. And the 3 statement, 2 statements must be true. 1 statement must be a lie. Your friends are going to identify which statement you lied. Okay? Statement you are saying. Just I think I am going to play. I am going to tell 3 statements about myself. 2 is true. 1 is going. So you have been seeing me for the past 1 hour. Guess there is no right or wrong answer, but you are going to find out in which statement I lied. Okay? That note and the first 3 statements. Again, the statement, and you can't repeat the statement which I am going to give now. Okay? When I say your page is black, you can okay, give different statements. On that note, 3 statements. I'll start first. I love reading books, number 1. And number 2, I wake up early in the morning. And number 3, I'm married. Okay, these are the 3 statements. Number 1, how many of you think I love reading books? அப்படிங்கிறது போய் அப்படின்னு எத்தனை பேர் நினைக்கிறீங்க? ஏமா இப்படி பேசிக்கிட்டே இருக்காதான்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? ஓகே, you will, okay. When I was சொன்னதுனால இந்த பேண்ட் கதை மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஆகும்னா, okay, someone believes it is a lie. How many of you think I wake up early in the morning அப்படிங்கிறது போயிங்க? Okay, as you believe that I wake up early அப்படிங்கிறது போயிங்க. How many of you believe I am married அப்படிங்கிறது போயிங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க? Okay. Now, second statement is a lie. I wake up early in the morning அப்படிங்கிறது போய். I love reading books and I am married. Okay. So statement 2 is a lie. Right? So this is the game. Environment group rights. When you say I'm married, everybody almost lost their sleep. But it's actually funny. ஏன்னா பேசிட்டே இருக்கிறப்ப இல்லாத ஒரு புத்துணர்ச்சி ஒரு ஓகே நைஸ் உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் என்ன வச்சிருக்காங்கன்னு கேட்கலாம். I want 3 statements. Who's ready? Who's ready? Yeah, this is one year following the whole statement. Come, who's ready first? You're ready.
Yeah, this one should talk with them, not with me.
I'm a class topper. Don't know to drive a car.
Don't know to drive car.
I'm a vegetarian.
Class topper, எத்தனை பேர் போய் நினைக்கிறீங்க? You are in first year. You are all in first year. So you are not given the semester right, but still you judge he is not class topper. You don't know to drive car. எத்தனை பேர் போய் நினைக்கிறீங்க? Okay, so you have seen him driving car. Okay. Number 3, he is a vegetarian. எத்தனை பேர் போய்? Okay, good, put on. எதுமா போய்? He is not a class topper. He drives car and he is a pure non-vegetarian. He broke the stereotype again. You clap your hands for him. Okay? Next one, clap your hands for him. You can go and sit that way. Thank you so much. Please, clap it. 1 minute. Okay, Dilip, 1 minute. This time I'll use for question and answer session. If you have any questions or feedbacks or suggestions on whatever you have discussed till this point, you can ask me. Questions? When will you leave us for lunch? Okay. Any suggestions or recommendations to add or to probably modify? Nothing? Nothing? Nothing. Okay. Ready?
I am superstar fan. I love to ride bike very slowly, and I am a chain smoker.
Okay, he's a superstar fan. How many of you think it is a lie? Correct. Lie. Okay, somebody believes. He rides bike slowly. Okay, somebody believes. He's a chain smoker. How many of you believe it is a lie? Okay, which one is a lie? Chain smoker is a lie. Okay, clap your hands for it. Good. He's an example for not getting into drug addiction. Okay, thank you, nice. So you are there.
ஏன்னா அவன் தண்ணி போடும்போது மட்டும்தான் பண்ணுறேன்.
The first statement answers the second statement I love Vijay, and third statement I love Vijay.
She is sensitive. எதன் பேர் போய் நினைக்கிறீங்க? ஏன் இப்படி பாக்குறீங்க? They are judging through their eyes, balls. Okay, she is sensitive. Some of you think nobody thinks it is a lie. Okay, she is a Vijay fan. How many of you think it is a lie? Okay, what was your third statement? Okay, she loves makeup. அது எத்தனை பேர் போய் நினைக்கிறீங்க? Okay, again. ஒண்ணுமே கை தூக்காதவங்க என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க சொல்லுங்க. அது அவ வாழ்க்கையில எங்களுக்கு என்ன போய் சொன்னா எங்களுக்கு என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்களா? Why? We were talking in 1.5 speed. அதனால ஒரு break we had an activity. அதுலயும் கை தூக்க மாட்டேனா எப்படி? All are true. Okay, here the fourth option. All are true எத்தனை பேர் நினைக்கிறீங்க? இது தூக்கி வச்சிடலாம் ஏன்னா பார்த்து வச்சிருந்தேனா? Okay, which one is the lie? Makeup பிடிக்காதுங்கிறது lie. You love makeup. What was your statement? Okay, I love makeup now. It is a lie. It seems she doesn't like. Okay, nice, super. Thank you. What's your name? Come on, she clap on it. Nice. Okay, so just to have a break from whatever we were talking. So to sum up the first half, in the first half, consider we talked about gender sensitization, we talked about post-act, and we also talked about drug abuse prevention. And again, giving you another chance if you have any questions. Till what we covered, you can ask, or else we'll move to the last portion of today's session, digital violence. Any questions? You have a question? I mean, she wants to ask, but she's not. We are so skeptic about asking questions. You? No. Okay. Any feedbacks or additions or any suggestions? Nothing. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, so as we told you earlier, we are here as a part of this activism by the United Nations, and this year's theme is ending digital violence against women. Okay, so when I to end digital violence, this is what we are going to talk about, and why digital violence? Why do you think digital violence is increasing these days? What are the main factors that has led to an increase in digital violence according to you?
நேரா சொல்ல முடியாது முகத்தை மறைச்சு என்னன்னா
Okay, that is one factor. They don't want to reveal their identity, but they are just posting some random vulgar comments behind celebrities' post. Okay, what? Where? Sorry, ma? Insta? Insta fake IDs is one reason for digital violence. Where? See, this unlimited data itself is a major factor for increase in digital violence. Why? Because earlier, when we had a 1 GB plan, we don't forward random contents to random people. But if unlimited data, we have so much data in our hand, we don't know how to use it. You watch random things, you randomly forward some shit pornographic contents, whatever to random people, and this is considered to be one major fact for increase in digital violence. And number two, one of the growing trends in the recent days, the deep, what do you call? Photoshop, deep fake, increase in the use of artificial intelligence among common people is said to be another major factor that has led to digital violence. Standing here, I can click a photo with anybody on this earth. Even to an imaginary person whom I am keeping in mind, I can create a photo. This is good for fun. When Nano Banana was trending, it was fun. But why are you sending your photos to some random platform which is going to store that image? Have you ever read the terms and conditions which is being given by any platform that you are trying to sign in? Have you ever read it? Or have you ever been cautious before giving that I allow whatever app you install, it will be asking allow access to media, allow access to location. We always give allow because every time we install an app, we are in an emergency to take use of that app, and only when you give allow, it is going to take you to the next screen. So this lack of awareness is considered to be one major factor, and increase in AI and whatever the recent technologies is another factor. And disproportionately, women as well as some social media influencers or people who are at greater heights in politics are disproportionately affected. Another normal human being, they are affected more. In that note, we are going to talk only about women because women calls for talking against women only. In that note, what are the various forms of cyber attacks against women that you know? We are answering all these questions before why ma'am இருக்கிறாங்க. இதெல்லாம் சொன்னா உங்களுக்கு இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சு வச்சிருக்காங்கன்னு பார்த்து வச்சுப்பாங்க நினைக்கிறீங்களா? Again, ma'am, I don't want you to leave that. I'm just asking you. Tell me, what are the various forms of cyber attacks against women? Hacking, okay. Online harassment. You know? Funny stickers, okay. Harassing through stickers, okay. Online fraud, okay. Misusing of pictures, non-consensual sharing of images, morphing. We have so many. We're going to look into it. First one, as you told, image-based abuse, that is non-consensual sharing of images. Even if it is a girlfriend or boyfriend, when you're going to send some personal photos to them, which is so intimate, if in case they don't like you or they have landed in trouble with you, the next moment they will think of misusing that picture. They may post it in public or whatever. So all this comes under this category. Next one, cyberbullying, trolling, your engineering. I just want to talk about only those which you may not know. What is online grooming? Have you ever heard of this term, online grooming? Have you heard of this term, online grooming? Online grooming is a situation where an aged person, probably above the age of 45 to 65, target minor women who are using social media. They impersonate themselves as somebody else who belongs to their age category. They talk to her, they get all their personal information, and once when they decide to meet the person, and if she's going to meet that person, only then she'll know that the person who was talking to the other side is above the age of 45 to 65. So hiding the person's age and attacking the minor women is called as online grooming. So this is also increasing these days. Next, age generation, I told, hate speech, I told, this misinformation and conspiracy theory. What is conspiracy? Conspiracy, I know. Have you heard of this term before? Conspiracy? கான்ஸ்பிரசி அப்படின்னா பழி வாங்குறதுக்காகவோ இல்லை வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஃபேக் ப்ரொபகண்டா ஸ்ப்ரெட் பண்ணி பவர்ல இருக்க ஒருத்தவங்களை கீழே கொண்டு வரதுக்கு பேர் கான்ஸ்பிரசி. So this conspiracy theories easily work against women who are considered as influencers. Take the case of Honorable Chief Minister, former Chief Minister Jayalalitha. Take the case of Honorable Chief Minister, former Chief Minister Mr. Karunanidhi. Karunanidhi was also accused in terms of bribery, corruption, family, legacy, politics. Jayalalitha was also targeted for these things. In addition, she was targeted for something else. What is it? What is it? Her character. Her character was very much assassinated. So even there is a man who is having 2 to 3 wives, any Bollywood actor or whatever, they will not be, that particular area of that man's life will not be touched upon. But when there is a girl who is going to do a second marriage, she will become an easy target and her character is easily assassinated. இது வந்துட்டு in personலையும் நடக்கும். But in digital media it is more because as ma'am was referring, face தெரியாது, சும்மா create a fake ID, post random things. இந்த கான்ஸ்பிரசிக்காகவும் மிஸ்இன்ஃபர்மேஷனுக்காகவும் women against நடக்கக்கூடிய digital violence is increasing. Next you have doxing, catfishing, impersonation. இது எல்லாமே something similar. What is catfishing? இந்த word first time கேட்குறீங்கனாலும் அந்த வார்த்தையை கேட்டா என்னவா இருக்குன்னு தோணுது. கேட் வந்து மீன் பிடிக்குது, ஓகே. This is a dictionary meaning. Okay, go beyond that. தூண்டில் போடுறது, yeah, you are almost right. Impersonating, முன்னாடியே சொன்ன ஆன்லைன் grooming, it is for elder versus minor. In catfishing, normala they claim ஒரு ஷாருக் கானோட ஒரு கொஞ்சம் ஆல்டர் பண்ண ஒரு இமேஜ் வந்து டிபியா வச்சிருப்பாங்க and then they send daily pictures அந்த ஃபேஸை வச்சுட்டு they will be sending daily pictures to their online girlfriend or boyfriend, and it appears to girls as well. ஒரு யாரை சொல்லலாம்? Tell me one favorite heroine of yours. Samanthaவோட சிஸ்டர் மாதிரி ஒரு போட்டோ வச்சிருப்பாங்க, but when they come in person they be something else. I'm not saying that the person who are not looking should not love each other, but the point here is they hide their real face and then they portray themselves as somebody who looks more beautiful or handsome, and அதை வச்சுட்டு ஆப்போசிட்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய பர்சனை வந்து சீட் பண்றது, that you call as doxing or catfishing. So இது எல்லாம் various forms of digital violence, and majority women are the most affected by all these forms of violence. Okay, why is digital abuse so hard to stop? Read the PPT, you tell me some answers. Number one, you can't find the accused. When some person is coming and throwing acid on your face, you can just catch him by hand, you can hand him over to the police. But words which are being poured out in social media comments, you can't catch that person, and that is being used as an easy loophole to easily target women, and in that way, digital media abuse is not stoppable. And if a person is affected by digital media abuse, it does not just stop with digital media. It goes beyond that. The stress, the anxiety, the trauma which they go through, it is severe. Okay. Next, reasons for growth of cybercrime against women. First one, as I told you earlier, low investment. Just research for unlimited data. You can do whatever you want. Next, growing loneliness in the current socialization process. Most of the time, women are allowed to spend so much time along with their computer that they believe that the computer is their trusted pal, and they share everything with it. And you get some friendship through computers, they are getting easily carried away by it, and they are becoming easy targets. Now, what are the essential cyber safety tips? This is not only for women, even men can follow it. With this, I am going to end the session. So try to be more active. Okay. Number one is strong passwords. You can't keep the same password for almost 20 to 30 websites you are using it. If your one website, your one account is hacked, everything is hacked. So always have this habit of using a stronger password. And please don't save your password in any digital media device. Imagine somebody is stealing your phone. Somehow they opened your lock screen, that lock that was open. If you go to the notes section, you will be having any accountable password will be written or stored in that notes section. It will be very easy for them. GPay, SBI PIN number, Indian Bank PIN number. It will be very easy for them to crack down other apps. So don't store your passwords anywhere digitally. Don't share your password with somebody. Just ensure that I am so loyal to you. To show that I am loyal to you, I am sharing your password. Don't do that. Never share your password. And next, updating. Whenever software update is coming to you, please update it so that all the bugs or any kind of issues that may happen in the website will be fixed. And you always ensure that you are using some anti-firewall, antivirus software, continuous data backup, etc. These are common things. Other than that, next one, be aware of your online presence. Whatever content you are posting in social media, you can delete it if you don't like it. But that content will be in somebody else's hands. This is called as beware of Big Brother syndrome. You post that only to, imagine you are going for a vacation to Thailand and saying I'm going to Thailand through one post is fine. But you can't say at this time my flight is leaving from Chennai airport and this much detailing is not needed. Why are you posting your travel plans in social media? Or imagine your house is somewhere, you have posted your house location and then you are posting. For 3 days I will be on vacation, so I am not going to be at home. That is like you are giving information to the thieves and you are inviting them. 3 days I am not there, come finish your duty and go before I come back. So don't post unnecessary contents which doesn't have any common basic sense because your data is being monitored by somebody even without your knowledge. Next, practice of this I already discussed. Reporting abuse. If in case நீங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு சைபர் அட்டாக்கால பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னா ensure that you are reporting the abuse. Don't get panic thinking that family may treat me in some other way or the society may treat me in some other way. Don't get carried away by such things, but ensure that you are reporting the incident when it is happening. Okay, so when it comes to legal provisions, Section 354 of the Indian Penal Code says outraging the modesty of a woman is a criminal offence. You can't do it, and once you do it, you will be booked under this act. You also have the Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act. It was passed in the year 1986. It says you can't commodify a woman's body or you can't portray a woman merely as a sexual object to get paid. So, or any form of indecent representation without the woman's consent is a crime. Okay? So that is what we are here and finish far beyond the time which was given to me. People who are standing to this side of the slide, tell me what is the number? What number? Wake up, it is done. What number it is? 6 or 9? This side, hope you see it. 6, okay. This side? Tell me who is right. Both are right. So what matters here? First, I think matter. Always keep in your mind, just because I was holding the mic and standing behind this line, I have shared my opinions, and I very well know that everything may not fit you, but the primary motive of this class is to ensure that despite the differences in perspectives, there are certain things which you must always follow in life. Number 1 is ensuring a gender-neutral society, and number 2 is not involving in any form of sexual harassment against other individuals. Number 3, never use drugs in any form just to get some random pleasure which is not actually guaranteed. Number 4, use your digital media or cyberspace safely and efficiently. So these are the basic messages, despite the difference in perspectives that you may have with whatever I shared today. Okay? On that note, I conclude. Thank you so much for being participants. Thank you. So despite starting at 1 hour late, despite forcing you to sit for extra hours, you guys were actively participating till the end. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, welcome to ask. If questions illanalo, I want 3 volunteers to come and give feedback about today's session and what you learned from today's class. In that note, I stop. Any questions? Any questions you want to ask? No, lunch. Okay. Okay, now okay, let Bharani now come by the time. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or else you can come forward and give feedback about the class. Before that, I wish ma'am to add comments to it.
Want to sleep sometime. Our customers are empty, batches are almost full. And also, no issues. So, our session is good. So, blackout, the content is reaching you. Okay, I think I told you already about the do's and don'ts and workplace, right? for both gender. Any what are that? Do's and don'ts at workplace for both gender. What we should do, what we should not do. Yes?
Please respond, okay, or else either I will.
Then I have to see clear for that. Whole session for that.
Rashes busy. Tamil do's and workplace, what we should do, what we should not do.
Mind your business. Yes, mind your business.
Yes, exactly. See, the thing is, like, if anybody is giving any offer to somebody else, to other gender, expecting some sexual favors in future, it should not done by the boy or girl who is the super officious to us. If he is or she is giving some favor to somebody, maybe a colleague or a lower gender people, if they are asking some benefits in future based on the person which got benefits, especially sexual favors, it should not done by the people. Okay, those, if such kind of favors comes to us, we are the person to say no in the first offer itself, right? Then dressing sense. What about dressing sense? We told about dressing sense. Dressing sense of both gender. Nowadays, usually wherever we go, the guys used to tell girls have somebody may say bad, good, and for boys, no comments on that. But we used to say both are having some kind of some debate about dressing sense of both boys and girls. You see in countless other colleges, people used to be quite close with looking hasty. So, what do we have? You can see the train upper bar with burgas, climbing the monkey, especially boys and girls. So, dressing sense of both boys and girls coming under debate with different ways. So, coming to this act, as a parent, as a teacher, as a clinician, we advise the children to not those children to dress properly. But as says, there are enough rights to wear dress with children. What is the definition of dress? Looks good, not as dress. Feel comfortable. Again, dress feel comfortable, looks good, not exposing. Somebody may ask, why are you saying not exposing? As a children, as a parents, as a teacher, as a clinician, we advise our young children, especially who are not much independent to face such issues, we advise children to dress properly. Right? Thank you all.
Thank you so much for your
Any feedback for the session?
I want three of you to give feedback on the afternoon you will be leaving. I have finished before time, so this is like you're going to pay back for finishing it before time. I want three of you to give feedback that is mandatory, okay? I want you to tell what you have learned from the session. This feedback should not be like you thought so well it was good. We want that we want you to we want to know what you have actually learned from the session. So I want to give you a reflection or probably what this entire session was all about. So three volunteers can come and give the mandatory feedback. See, அவங்க சொன்னது அவங்க கட்டளைகளை சாசனம்னா அவங்க கிட்ட கொடுக்குறேன் எப்படி மேம் கூட்டுவாங்க 3 பேர் கரெக்டா இல்லாட்டி இங்கே வரலாம் கம் ஆன்.
Having listened carefully and intentionally, I've learned a lot. Most of the movie Laban, questions, celebrities, and the rest. But you said something that while there's more to earn, somebody can go to smart to destroy. So I better not smoke that. Or do what they do because they do it for payment, or do it for your own cost. Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
Okay, friends.
You cannot go to lunch now, so much feedback.
Session number okay. Both all male and females are equal. And in the previous time, once the difference between sex and question பண்ணியா it's so nice and same things வந்து நல்லா ஆன்சர் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ அதை ரிமெண்ட் பண்ணுவோம். இது முக்கியமான மெத்தட் சொல்லணும். இது மேரேஜ் ஆனது சொன்னீங்க. No, all boys. Yeah, we started Raksapati classes. Yeah, it's good one. And it's good session and I wish you happy with that.
Yeah. நீங்க வந்து abuse அதெல்லாம் சொன்னீங்க. How to come out from the drug addict? அதை பத்தி ஏதாவது ஒரு
மூணு பேர் முடிச்சுன்னு சொல்றீங்களா? Anybody else want to share?
I think the session was good because you told us about the stereotypes. Actually, it's the mindset. And you explained its mindset. And the best part you explained that we all see different angles. So do not be tortured by the stereotypes that the society are kept keeping, but you have to just see which one are you comfortable with living, because you are living, the society is living the way you're living on it. So thank you for that information. And also the types of addictive, I never knew food is also an addictive. Some people here, we find it leisure on those activities, but we never knew that they are drugs that they can be assumed as drugs at the end of the day. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so she was saying we were talking so much about drug addiction and rehab, but she was like I could have been more specific. Sorry, we could have she said we could have talked more about the ways to come out of drug addiction. So that is why when I was talking about the causes of drug addiction, I made a point. There can be various causes. You can say there was lack of parental monitoring. There was so much money left in our hand. There was so much peer pressure. But ultimately, what matters at the end of the day is how much self-constraint you are when it comes to choosing a wrong path in spite of the right path. So when I say certain things like you could probably do that, I was about to say a case study due to lack of time. So there is one factor which is a major cause of drug addiction, that is lack of economic stability. So there are certain areas where there are people who who stay with hunger for till the end of the day because they have less purchasing power with them. So those people, they justify taking drugs, saying that when I take drugs, at least that hunger will subside and I will not be thinking about hunger because I will be traveling in a parallel world. In that case, when I am going to go and say them, okay, don't take drugs, whatever solution I am going to give in this particular point as probably as a resource person is not going to fit their angle. And there was another slide which we skipped, that is India's manual scavengers. You know who are manual scavengers, who are involved in all this garbage and drainage cleaning works which they do out of their hand. They say they drink because they can't take the smell of the bad odor that comes out of it. So when I am going to give you a common ways to come out of drugs, that is not probably going to fit them. That is why I need it as a kind of concluding statement that you have decided to get into drugs, and the reason you decided to get into drugs is not common with everybody. In the same way, coming out of the drug, it must be your choice. We can guide you. We obviously have this anti-drug committee. They can guide you in ensuring what are the rehabilitation techniques that are available countrywide as well as within our university level. But how well you're going to respond to the treatment mechanism or the rehab procedures, that completely rests with you. So that is why I left it open. So that when you have decided to go, come out of it the way you want. Right? That is it. Thank you. Thank you for asking to talk about this. Any other perspectives? Nothing for Binder? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful and meaningful session. Clarity with gender, sex, gender stereotype, sexual harassment, post act, drugs, drug addiction and prevention, digital violence, cyber attacks and crimes, and its prevention strategies truly enrich our attention. We deeply appreciate the time you have taken to be with us today, ma'am. Thank you once again.
And thank you. Most respected Dr. Malema and Alberta ma'am. This topic particularly is close to my heart. Earlier in my previous tenure, I was the director of Women Development Center, and we established that in all the colleges. And in that experience of attending to the inquiries in the colleges and for office people and for faculty members, we gained a lot of information, and I was sent for training for Osaka Commission. And as a collective experience of all the information I have had, my class is half the time is about gender sensitivity, rights. So this, but I don't talk about the act, regulations and all. I'm pretty sure that you would have given what India says about it and what the world says about it in the book of law and by practice. Did you get that? Was it an extension of my class? A technical extension of my class? More of that? Yeah, because we keep talking about that because every mother fights to give a better world to her child, be it the boy or the girl, and particularly girls. Right? So, a better world for us means better behavior from you, protection from you all. That's a change. Let's work towards both boys and girls, work towards equality of both the genders by all manners. And they are not cash cows, ATM machines for us, and we are not the lust benches for them. Alright, so let us all take that very seriously and treat mutually with respect and dignity. Alright. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Anything more from there?
I take this moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this event meaningful and successful. Thank you once again to all. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned.
Okay, our relaxation. You can change and remove your clothes and then come back at 2:30. That's my session. 3:30 is Professor Balamam's session. Alright? Done? I'm at 2:30 to 2:45. 2:30 is 2:20.